Hi, today we're learning about an artist whose name is Yayoi Kusama. She had her balloon, a big beautiful balloon, in the Macy's Day Parade. If you were watching, you got to see it. Love Fills Up the Sky is what it's called, or what it's named. And as you can tell by this picture, she was very into dots. If you watch in Google Classroom, there's a video of a storybook picture book that is all about her life and where she grew up and how she actually got so into dots. She's still alive. She's very famous. She's worked with many famous fashion designers and other artists, collaborated with them, and she's famous enough to have her work as a balloon in the Macy's Parade. Okay, so today we're going to be making some spheres or 3D circles with dots on them. To make them, you need some notebook paper, some scissors, a pencil, and or something for color. You don't necessarily need color. This one was done all with pencil, and you could certainly do that just as well. This one was done with crayon and marker. This one was done with all crayons. And if you have those dot bottles to paint with, it's really kind of fun to use those to put the dots on the strips of paper before you make your sphere. Okay, so let's get started. All right, so what we're going to do first is we're going to cut the holes off the top of the paper, okay? So we're going to cut across like this on that red line, okay, using our scissors. If you don't have scissors, okay, so if you don't have scissors, you can tear the holes off at the top, or you can just leave them on. It doesn't really matter all that much. Okay, so once it's cut off, you're going to hold your paper hot dog or portrait or the long up and down direction, okay? And then we're going to bring one side to the other and fold it in half like this. Okay, rub your finger up and down, then fold it in half again like this. Rub your finger up and down. It's just going to make it easier to cut it when it's time to cut it. And then we're going to do it one more time, okay? We'll fold it in half like this so we have a nice skinny strip of paper, and rub your finger up and down. The reason we want it thin is if your paper's too thick, it's not going to make a nice sphere for you, and the thinner strips make a much nicer sphere. Okay, so once it's all folded, you're not going to open it all the way. We're just going to open it this much, and then we're going to cut on that fold, okay? It doesn't have to be perfect, but just open it one time, no more than one, okay? And then I'm going to cut right on that fold, or as close to right on that fold as possible. And it's going to give me two strips. I'm going to put this other half aside over here. It's going to give me two strips, and I'm going to open that other piece like this and cut on that fold. And what I'm going to get then when I cut on this fold is a total of 4 strips, okay? And then what you're going to want to do is think about what you're going to do for dots, because this is Yayoi Kusama's inspired spheres. So in this one, I used crayon for the background, and I used marker for the dots. This one too is crayon and marker, okay? This one here, I used dot bottles. You don't have to make all 4 strips the same. Just because I did, you can make all 4 strips different as long as you're using some sort of dot pattern, okay? And then my last one here is just with pencil. I didn't use any color. I used the side of my pencil for the background and then put some dots on with heavier shading with my pencil, okay? So when you have your 4 strips with color and dot pattern like you want them to be, you're going to turn them over so the plain side is up, okay? It looks kind of like this has color on it, but it's because the marker went through the paper, and that's okay. Then when you have them all with the color side down and the plain side up, you're going to stack them one on top of each other, and it's not going to be perfect, so don't worry about it, because I didn't take the time to cut super precisely. All right, then I'm going to scoot them all together so that the ends here and here are the same, and they're all stacked on top of each other. The next step is we're gonna fold it in half like this. So I'm gonna bring all of those ends together up here, and at the fold here, I'm gonna rub back and forth with my thumbnail so it's a nice strong fold. Then I'm gonna open them back up, and I'm gonna make sure that the plain side is up, okay? And then also I can see where that fold is. Then I forgot to tell you that we need glue stick, okay? And what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a plus sign and a multiplication sign. What I mean by that is I'm putting a dot of glue on the first strip, and the fold of the second strip, I'm gonna turn it the other way, and I'm putting the fold on the fold. And you do just kind of want to double check and make sure they kind of all just about the same length. I'm going to move this one aside. This one I'm going to make an X, okay? I'm going to put a dot of glue on the fold like that. And this one I'm going to put across like this, fold on fold. Take a look, are they about the same? And they are. And if I turn it just a little bit like this, I have an X and a T, or I have a plus sign and a multiplication sign. The next step is I'm going to put a dot of glue right in the center of my T, and I'm going to move my X right on top of it, making sure there's still a T and an X, okay? Making sure right here it's all in the middle, and I'm going to press down, okay? Then this is a good time to check all the plain side here on one side, all the color side here on another, okay? You're going to still want the plain side up, and now's when we're going to start putting together that sphere. And the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to try and find the one that's farthest away from us or closest to the table, okay? And that looks like it's this one. I'm going to curve it up like this so the color part is towards me. I'm going to put a little dot of glue there on the end, and I'm going to bring the other side up like this, and I'm pressing them together like that, okay? Then I'm going to put a dot of glue right on top of where I just glued those two together, and I'm going to find the next one and put it on top like that, right on top of it. A dot of glue on top of that, okay? And I'm going to put the one across from it on the other side here on top of it like that. Give a squeeze so it's staying together. I'm going to put a dot of glue on the top like this. And it's kind of important to do the ones across from each other just because it makes your sphere nicer. I'm going to put that on top of the glue, give a squeeze, put another glue on top, a little dot of glue on top, and the one across from it, I'm going to lift up and put in and give a squeeze. And then I have one last strip to put in. I'm putting a dot of glue on top of the sphere, and I'm going to put this on top and give a little squeeze like that. And then just one last one. I'm going to put one last dot of glue on top, and I'm going to give a little squeeze. And that easy, we have a Yayoi Kusama inspired dot sphere. They're really kind of fun, especially when you start making lots of them, and you can kind of group them together. So be creative and have fun with your Yayoi Kusama inspired dot pattern spheres. Bye.